What is up, everyone? I have a very special deck for you today. This is the Squirming Emergence Reanimation deck, and I played against a similar version of this deck on the ladder, and it just blew me away. I had to build my own version of it, and I've got it down to where it's very, very consistent now and very strong. And this is the deck. So, Otherworldly Gaze, super way to mill, super quick. I tried it with the ancient one before, but it just makes a lot more sense in this deck, I feel like. So yeah, you got a turn one way to mill 3 cards, potentially 3 permanents into your graveyard. Turn two, you can mill another 3 or possibly 4 with either of these cards, and then turn three, then you can reanimate something if you have enough in your graveyard. So in order to get most of our cards back, you need 7 permanents in your graveyard. It's a little bit hard to do on turn 2, but it's not impossible. The other thing is that, these cards like the Falagi Archaeologist and the Thicklock Prankster, while they do mill us, they also give us the chance to get a instant or sorcery back from the graveyard. So if you mill your Squirming Emergence, then you can put it into your hand. So that's really crucial in this deck is that you try to always get this into your hand no matter what. So basically, we can do that with almost all of the mill cards except for Founding of the Third Path. However, Founding of the Third Path will let us also cast the Squirming Emergence on turn step 3 of the saga. So that's kind of the trade-off. We're throwing in a few of these Invasion of Tolvadas because they basically let us skip from 5 mana up in, or 5 permanents in the graveyard up into the 7 or 9 that we need. So if we can mill 5 things and then turn 3 cast this, and there's an Invasion of Tolvada in our graveyard, then we can also basically Squirming for the Tolvada will return any of our permanents. So we would probably get Atraxa usually first. You get a bunch of more cards and do it again. But you could also do like Portal to Phyrexia or Virtue of Persistence or one with the Multiverse or any of those. And then finally, sometimes you get these big clunky things stuck in your hand and you need to get them out of there. So that's where Bitter Triumph comes in. Destroy a creature or planeswalker, and as an additional cost, you can discard a card. So in this case, we want to discard something. Usually Atraxa or maybe Portal is what you would want to discard because you can't really cast them anytime soon. And you can kill something, and then you can, if you need to do it again later, you can do it with your Founding of the Third Path later. So you can really kind of reuse this Bitter Triumph any point in the game. That's about it. We do have Titan of Industry to get some life, destroy some artifacts or enchantments. It's another good reanimation target. We have one with the Multiverse to let us play a card from our hand without paying its mana cost. So if we do get this one out, we can play like a Portal or a Traxa or something from our hand early, and that can be a pretty big swing play as well. So that is the gist of it, and I guess the only thing to note, 61 cards. That is because I found this deck doesn't need that many lands. So we're running 25 lands right now. But I wanted to add 1 extra Tolvada, and I know that Arena does some really funny things if you go down below 25 lands for any type of like mid-range or control-ish type deck. It kind of treats your shuffler algorithm as an aggro deck if you go below 25. So yeah, basically I'm doing that 61 cards just so I can keep the 25 lands. And there is some percentage of play there where you have like a fraction of a percent higher chance to get a land if you have the 25th land versus 24 and 60 card deck. So yeah, there's that too. Yeah, so there's that too. So that's about it. Yeah, let's get into the games. All right, so we go second, unfortunate, but we got some early mill and a removal spell, so I think we can keep this. We didn't get our turn one removal, turn one mill with Otherworldly Gaze, but It's not a bad start. Blue-white control opponent. Probably not what we want to see. It's probably our worst matchup. But let's just see how it goes. Alright, so we did find our squirming emergence with our Pelagi. Oh, Schooner. Okay, so it's aggro. So actually, this is good for us. So things are looking up. We need to mill a lot more, though. So let's see. The best way to do that, we could either play Founding or the Archaeologist. I think we do the Archaeologist, and then we save this for a turn when we can cast our Virtue. Here we go again. Basically, we only pick up the Squirming Emergences with this card. I tapped a little bit better. I could have done this, but we'll still grab the Otherworldly Gaze for next turn. We can put a stop at our upkeep in case we want to kind of filter our draw a little bit. But I don't know if we will. Kind of seems like they're going to counter something. So maybe we can cast this Founding instead. Alright. So we'll try to cast the Founding of the third path. If they're going to counter this, no counter. We'll play it on 1. We'll use it to cast the Otherworldly Gaze. And then pretty much we just mill everything. We could potentially save the 2 lands and the Tolvada, but I don't think we're going to need that. We need the white source to cast the Tolvada if we really want to. I think we'll just mill everything, and we can use our third path and our Squirming Emergence to try to get it later. I think we'll do this Gaze at the end of their turn and save this for later, because we don't want to have them both trigger on the same turn. And yeah, we'll just pass. They're flashing. No, they're getting lost. Okay, interesting. We get some map tokens. Not the end of the world. They have a Schooner, but maybe it is still control. I don't know. Alright, the bat. We'll probably have to take our Virtue, otherwise we just get everything back. Kind of have the perfect hand right now, to be honest. And our graveyard is already has the Invasion and the Atraxa. So we have everything assembled. Alright, they took the Squirming Emergence. Unless they have a counterspell that could stop my Virtue of Persistence, that's not going to really do much for them. Schooner is cool and all, but doesn't do much. Yeah, they do get their land. It's tapped. I'm not too worried about that. I could even block this just to get my count in my graveyard up higher. Doesn't really matter though. Alright. Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah, Portal goes to the graveyard. Wastes the graveyard. I think I'm going to keep this white source because we might want a white source at some point. Alright. Land in hand. We have an untapped land, which means we can kill this with the Virtue. In fact, I can even use this first. Have it cast the Virtue with the Chapter 1. So we'll do that. We get back our Squirming. We cast this. We have 11 right now, so usually what I do is Invasion first into my big card. So and then we're going to get Atraxa. Atraxa is going to get us another Squirming, a land, a removal, everything we want. So yeah, there you go. We got it. And you can do this as early as turn 3, depending on your draw, of course. Turn 3, turn 4 is what I'd say. Turn 4 is probably the most typical. But really, straightforward, easy, and powerful. So there you go. Alright, so opponent goes first. We have, again, 2 mill creatures, and the portal. Portal not so good, so that's a little bit worse than last time, but still I think it's a keep. We still go second. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, opponent is playing Jund or maybe Ramp. Okay, probably Ramp. We're just gonna play our Archaeologist. And we're only keeping Squirming Emergence or Otherworldly Gaze. Because both those are spells and they don't count towards the count of permanence in our graveyard. Otherwise, we want to leave them just in there for the most part. Maybe the removal spell as well. Okay, we can block this. And yeah, I think the opponent's just ramping, so we're pretty safe here. I think we just founding into Otherworldly Gaze, most likely. Or is there a point to doing the founding? Maybe there's no point. So we'll just gaze and then Archaeologist. Or Archaeologist and gaze, I suppose, in that order. Got a Bitter Triumph. That was good pickup. I didn't notice that, but yeah, we'll leave that in the graveyard, I think. No real point bringing that back. And puts us at 5 permanents. So what we're hoping for is Otherworldly Gaze will put 2 more in the graveyard, and then maybe we find one of our Squirming Emergences. Yeah, they're definitely playing the ramp. They've got Herd Migration here. So we're gonna have to be careful about their Leyline of Binding. That's like the only thing we don't want to happen to our permanents. Okay, we can bin that one. We can bin... I guess we just bin all of these. Because we can't really cast any of them right now. And we see what we draw. Tracks, okay. Not the greatest, but we can discard it with our Triumph, so it's still okay. Maybe now's the time to founding, Triumph, and discard the Traxa or the Portal. I mean, there's a good chance we want this Triumph for something else in the future, but I think it's okay to do now. Especially because we can't really play these very easily. Maybe I can play the Portal from my hand, so I'll drop the Atraxa. And then we'll try to do the Gaze, Otherworldly Gaze again. Wonder if they've got Wandering Emperor here. They don't always play that card. 5 mana up, I am a little hesitant, so we'll just do no attacks. Okay, no Wandering Emperor. Probably see like an Archangel of Wrath come down. Or nothing. Just pass. Alright. We can also put a stop on the upkeep. Alright, there's our Squirming. Finally got it. 2 more permanents in the graveyard. So we don't need to do anything here. We just draw this. Mill 4. Okay, that's pretty decent. And let's try to cast it. They might have a counterspell. Find out. Let's go Invasion into Atraxa. That way, even if they Leyline bind this, it's not the end of the world. Atraxa. Grand Unifier. Get our bajillion cards. Another Squirming. A land, a removal, etc., etc. Pretty good. We can even swing into this Tolvada for 1. Alright, no Wandering Emperor. There's a decent chance they like Sunfall, so I think I'm just gonna hold up the mana. A whole lot of reason to do it now anyway. Farewell would honestly be bad, so we have to also hope they don't farewell us. Okay, no farewell yet. Guess we're gonna gaze here. Not a whole lot of point to do this. I guess we can just try to fix our draw for the turn. Oh yeah, like that. Good, we don't need this land. We don't really need another archaeologist, so sure, do that. They discard their own land. We're gonna cast this another Squirming. This time we'll get the, I think we'll get the one with the multiverse. That way we can start doing stuff for free. Play our land. I don't know how all in we want to go, because like I said, if they have farewell, we're gonna be pretty dead. Maybe it's already too late. Like, I think this is just a deck that loses to farewell, basically. Maybe I can get something from the graveyard for free. I can get the virtue from the graveyard. Okay, let's do that. Let's cast this one for free. I don't want to go too crazy. We'll just grab the virtue of persistence. And then we can cast this one. Actually, we can even do that on their turn. Right? Let me look at the top of your library. Anytime you may play lands and spells on the top of your library. Yes, anytime. So we'll just do it on their turn, so as not to go too crazy. And if they farewell us, we've got, you know, some stuff we can play from our hand. Our board state is already pretty much unbeatable. Yeah, there's the farewell. That's what I was a little bit worried about. I guess I don't even play this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I do it and just try to get an untapped land so that I can play the virtue. No. Because virtue without a graveyard is basically worthless. Alright, that is sad. Very sad. Can start with Falage. Kind of start all over again. Invasion of Tolvada. We have no white sources. And we just discarded our last white source, unfortunately. So I think we just leave it in the graveyard. Alrighty. Yeah, I'll just gaze and gaze again. We can kind of rebuild. We'll definitely lose if they have a second farewell. That's for sure. But I think, yeah, this deck is really powerful, but it does lose to counter spells at the right time and very well. Everything else, very good against, but those two can do some serious harm for us. Actually, we do want to land, right? So we can just cast our spells from hand. Plus we are getting a little bit low on cards. I think we just take the land, and then we'll take Founding next turn. Cool. Alright. Swing, do we swing for one? Probably not. That's the Virtue. They might Leyline Bind. Guess we're gonna hold this back to block their Merrick's token. They haven't played much, so I'm sure they've got Wrath or yeah, even Herd Migration. We're only at 4, so this is not gonna do too much for us. I think we can gaze here. We'd need 9 mana to do anything else, so that's not likely. We'll Sage you. Destroy our Virtue. Or we can get something. Alright, I guess nothing we can do there. Do we have a basic left in the deck? I don't think so, but let's just take a look. No, we don't. Alright, so we lose our top of the deck. I think it's fine. Tolvada, still have a Tolvada. No more white sources, they're all exiled already. Right, 1. Think. Am I missing it? Spars, headquarters, and where's the other one? The graveyard, right? Oh yeah, Raffine's. Okay. So that's useless, so we'll just take the Titan. Draw. Yeah, we can Squirming for the Evasion, which will get the Persistence one. But they do have a pretty huge board. Maybe we drop the portal. We can cast the Titan from our hand, but we can't cast the portal anytime soon. They have 16 damage. So we can see where they aim. If we kill the Archangel, we can get that back. $16 face. 16 at face. Killing the Angel, is that really that good? Guess we can just kill one of these and discard the Titan. Then we'll get it back. Leyline Binding, wow. Okay. That's certainly not good. That's certainly not good. Alright. Seems we might be in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake then. Dropping the Titan versus dropping the portal. And I guess we're just dead on board, so... Edge. We kind of popped off, but they had answers they needed. Farewell, especially. Kind of just answers everything. Bad, but it happens. Alrighty, well that's it for the games for today. Just a short video, but I wanted to show you kind of how the deck performs, how it works out. So far I have a 70% win rate with the deck, and that was still even with the times I was tuning the deck. So it's doing very, very well, much better than I expected. And just, probably could be a few more tweaks in here as well. You definitely want these 4 mill cards. The Prankster, you could probably swap it with something or reduce it to 2 and put one other card in here. Also, you could vary, your win cons a little bit. Maybe you don't want as many portals or something like that. Maybe you want like 1 sweeper in here to deal with the board in emergency situations. Don't know, but so far this has been doing very well for me. And I think this could be tier 1, maybe not this exact 60 or 61 in this case, but definitely Squirming Emergence is a powerhouse of a card, and against most decks, you win the game turn 3 or 4. So yeah, pretty sweet. That's gonna be it for today. Hope you're going out there and having some fun. Until next time, see ya.